Hi, ladies. We'll wait a few more minutes, see if some other people get on. Welcome, Ronnie and Joanne. I know a lot of people are probably busy tonight, so I don't expect a big audience. We got about another minute. Hope you ladies had a good day today. All right. Looks like it might be just us three. I just wanted to check. See if the. All right. I guess we'll get started. So both of you ladies know my name, Corinne Sandin. We're going to do my last class in the series of Christmas projects. So this is the host code for the month of November. If you'd like to place an order, and your order is less than $150, I would really appreciate it if you could use this code. If your order is over $150, you don't need a host code. And then we do have a new bundle that's available. I've been talking about it for a while. That's not in the catalogs. It is going to be in the upcoming catalog that starts in January. I can order them the 1st of December, which I certainly will. And if you've ordered from me in the last year, I will make sure that you get a catalog. So if you want any more information about this garden, the papers may not be available in the new catalog. That's kind of like an enticement for now. But if you need more information, you can just private message me and I will get that to you. So I think that takes care of the housekeeping stuff. So the first little project I wanted to show you was a great little gift. As you can see, I have some that are packaged up here. This one has nail polish, and then this one has a lollipop with the blue socks, kind of for a boy. And then this one, I'm going to give a couple to my teenage granddaughters. So I'm going to show you how you can make one using Stampin' Up! Supplies. So it doesn't take a lot. You're going to need a pair of socks, obviously. I'm going to put nail polish because I don't know about you, but my granddaughters like purple and black and brown for nail polish. They're young teenagers, so you need a pair of socks. You're going to need some cardstock so that you can create the band around it. And then this is the lower mat. This is inside. Some paper to decorate it. And then this is like the topper when you get to put it in a bag. So I cut these two circles out using the layer and circle dies, which to me is a must-have for people. I used the 3-inch one for the big one, and then the next one down for the inside. My piece of cardstock is about 2 5/8 by 9.5-ish. Now I'm not going to put these measurements up tomorrow, because it's going to depend on how thick your socks are, how big around you need to make this. So I like to have a 1/2 inch on the bottom. So I just have my cutter here. I'm using the score blade, which is the light gray one. And I'm scoring that at a 1/2 inch. So you can see on this side you have 1.5 inches, and then this side opens up to as big as you need it. So I'm going to grab a bone folder, if I can find one here. Nope. I've moved stuff around, so now I can't find things. Doesn't look like I have one here, so we're going to use a good old ruler. I see a couple of other people have joined us. So I'll put this back in the view. I'm going to show you how to make a cupcake using a sock and nail polish. For the boy ones, because I make 12 Days of Christmas for my grandchildren, I bought the blue socks and I put a lollipop because they wouldn't do nail polish. So here's my piece of paper that's 9 5/8 by approximately 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut this so I can curl it. So I'm just eyeballing it, and as I go along, I cut the edges at the same time. So I'm cutting about a 1/2 inch little tabs. Hello, people that have joined us. I'm so glad you're here. So I'm just going to continue down the end of this. If you want to take the time to measure this all out, you can, but it's going to be covered, so it really doesn't matter, but everybody has a different level of what they will accept and not accept. So then I'm just going to keep cutting this, just taking a little wedge on one side so that when I fold it, it will fold better. Okay, so it looks like those are done. Make sure they're all off here. So you can buy these fuzzy socks. You can actually use regular knee-highs too, or socks, tube socks. I find the ones that are kind of like a tube sock type roll up a little bit better, but I've used both. It doesn't really matter. Okay, let me get those scraps out of the way. So because I can't find my bone folder, you need to curl this a little bit. So I'm just taking the edge of my ruler, which I would do with my bone folder. It must be on my other table. And I always forget to check before I go live. So now I'm putting a piece of our tear and tape. You really want to make sure you're using some kind of a heavy-duty tape. So I'm going to peel that off to create a ring. This is, oh, I can't even think of the color. Wait a minute, give me flamingo. Flirty flamingo, there it is. I was having a brain cramp. So you just want to overlap that. You can see I'm doing it about a 1/2 inch. Then I bring one of my big old spice jars in to help me with getting this into a circle shape. I love Tucson spice, so I buy big bottles when I can find it. Alright. So I'm going to put some wet glue on that, on each one of those tabs. So let me take this off again just for a minute. So each one of those tabs is going to have a little dab of glue. Now you can use your favorite adhesive, whatever you want. I just like to use wet glue because it gives me a minute or two. To shape it up and move it around a little bit. So I'm just going to put that so that it holds it for a minute. Flip it over. Now, you're going to select whatever size circle you think you need. I find a 3-inch works the best. I'm just going to hold that there for a few seconds while it dries. It's not going to be exact, and it's okay. And then I just cut a smaller one to put it inside to reinforce it. So I'm going to set that there while it dries and I get my socks ready. So there's my socks. And what did I, oh, there's the nail polish. Whoops. So I just take the nail polish and I wrap it around. Then I just take a small elastic or a piece of string, whatever you have. I happen to have some of these elastics that you use in baby's hair. Now to help this stay in place, let me grab a package of big pop-ups. You want to put a few pop-ups down in the bottom. And you can decorate this any way you want. I tend to use the same paper that I'm going to put around the base as I do for my topper. So those of you that are just joining us, I will show you the finished product after. Oh, wow, this is one of those problems. Every now and then we get some pop-ups that the bottom doesn't come off. Let me see if it's the whole package. There we go. So I'm just going to put like 3 of them in there. It's just to hold it in the cup that I created. Now, some people, you can buy, oh, these are still, well, I don't know what to say. There we go. Every now and then I get a package that, for some reason, they don't want to come off. So I'm going to try to peel the... So I'm going to take this cute little leaf paper. I don't think I need all of that. So it's just a piece. It's probably about 1.5 inches by 12. So you can see I can cut a little bit off. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of this wet glue. Following my seam. And this is going to help stabilize the cup a little bit too. Oops. All right. So now I have my elastic on there. I'm going to just push that in. And I like the girls to know that it's nail polish. So I kind of pull it up a little bit. Take my sock and flip it down so it looks like a cupcake. And then I'm going to put a little pom-pom on top. So that's the gift that I was talking about that's really good for ladies or if you have young teenagers like I do. So those of you that are just joining us, I end up putting it in a cello bag and making a little topper, which is what this will be. So you can see. And then for my grandsons that are young teenagers, I put a lollipop and did kind of blue and black socks. So that's the the gift project. You slide this out of the way. Now the card project is a piece of paper from the same suite as the paper that I used on the gift. I'm going to try to create this beautiful dark background, colorful background. So as you know, this paper comes 12 by 12. You get two sets. First, I cut it in 6 so that I have a 12 by 6 piece. And then I cut these to 5 inches by 3 3/4. But of course, it's going to depend on what you're going to use it. I've been making a ton of these cards today, so I have some already. Let's try the purple with the Flirty Flamingo. Those of you that know me well, I'm not a traditionalist person. I like to make my Christmas cards sometimes non-tradition. So that's what I did here. Are you guys all about it? All your Christmas cards have to be green? I see some other people have joined us. I like them bright colors. So I'm going to add some ink to this paper. So I have Flirty Flamingo, Pool Party, Gorgeous Grape, and Pacific Point. And I have 3 Stampin' Up! Blending brushes and then 1 bootleg because I needed a 4th color. So a couple of tips when it comes to blending. In this particular case, I want to work my way down. So I'm going to start with my darkest color, which in this particular case is Pacific Point. So I'm gathering some color on my brush. Now you always want to tap off so that you don't get that blob on your project. And you want to start off and come in. So I'm only going to do a little bit. You can always add more color, but it's difficult to take it off. So here is the sample. I'm going to try to have both of them in at the same time. Now I'm going to take Pool Party and I'm going to pick up the ink. Now I will tell you, you want to be careful when you're using 2 different colors that it doesn't cross. So I always flip my paper over. So I'm taking some off. I'm coming down a little bit because I want to create a white space. So when I go in with my purple, I can blend those 2 colors together. Because these colors are, you know, in this kind of the blue tone. So you can decide how much you want. That looks pretty good. You can always go back and put more. So I always suggest to people to put less. So now I'm using the Gorgeous Grape. Picking up ink again. This is an intense color. So now I'm going between these 2. Between the Pool Party and the Pacific Point. Kind of trying to create a little bit of the Northern Lights. So I need a little extra over here. Because you know how when you look up at the sky, it's always darker on one side than the other. I'm going to come back with the blue after. Again. And now I'm doing the Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to flip again. Have a clean sheet. So I'm taking my blending brush and just going around and around. Now I wanted to point out a couple of things. First, if you start like that, you're going to have that blob. You can decide if you want to go in a circular motion, like you see there, or back and forth. You get a whole different look, depending on what you do. So in this particular case, I just want some ink in between my trees. So I am kind of going up and down. Up and down. I'd still want a little bit of white in between my trees. So I'm trying really hard to just go in between the trees. So that's there. I want a little bit of more intensity up top. So I'm going to go back to my Pacific Point. Find that color on my scratch paper. Again, pick up some more ink. Tap it off. I want it a little heavier over here because this is kind of like when you're looking up at the sky sometimes, or off in a distance, you'll see that it's a little more intense on one side than the other. So because this paper is already embossed for me, I need to clean up the silver a little bit. So I don't know about you, but I always have some rags here that I work with. I just buy these microfiber ones at the dollar store. So I'm going to kind of like buff this so I can get some of that ink off the silver. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to mat it on a piece of Flirty Flamingo that's 4 inches by 5 1/4 onto a hot dog cut, which is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So I'm going to put this right directly onto the card base. Using my wet glue. You can certainly use your glue of choice. But I like this because it gives me a few minutes to play around with it. So it takes about 10 or 15 seconds to grab, so that's what that is. So now I'm going to grab some more pop-ups. Hopefully these cooperate better. And I want to raise this up. So I'm using the minis. Let me grab one more here. Pulled that one right off. I don't know where my pickup tool is. Missing in action, I guess. Thank you for those of you that have joined us on a busy pre-Thanksgiving night. I'm going to stamp my greeting. Grab a piece of scrap here. And I'm using the purple that matches my card base. And the stamp comes from this really cute snowman season. Merry Christmas. So this is a clear stamp, so you want to make sure you are on a piece of pattern. I'm going to put that about right there. Oh, it looks like I did Celebrate the Wonder here. That's another stamp set. Sorry about that confusion. I have 2 of them out here. I have too many stamp sets on my table, but it'll give you a choice to see what it looks like. I want to trim this down just a little bit. I like it close to the words. Let me bring in my cutter, please, for a second. I'm just going to take about 1/4 of an inch off. Then I'm going to cut this straight. So this ends up being about 3.5 inches. Eyeball it. Doesn't have to be exact. Then I'm just going to take my scissors. I like to do this. Cut it at an angle. Grab some more dimensionals. Oh, I want to curl this a little bit. So again, I can't find my, so you can curl this. So what I do is I put dimensionals on the edge here. And then on the edge here. And then just a drop of glue where I want it to touch down. I'll have to hold it for a minute. So let me get these back ends off. Hold that down where I have the glue, so it'll look like it's waving. It creates that little depth. And then I have a piece of the silver, I'm sorry. I should use a glue dot for that. Let me grab those. Okay. Stick that right there. Put my little gold thing. Then I have a piece for the inside. I'm going to put a piece of paper to dress it up. All of this paper is from the same Peaceful Place. And let's stamp the inside with the gorgeous grape again. Joy to the world. Trim that off. Now I can put that inside my card. Again, using my favorite adhesive. You should have a purple frame, gorgeous grape all the way around. So there. This is the sample. This is the make and take tonight. Let me bring in, this was my sample of the cupcake sock. And then this is the one I did. So this ends my Christmas series of classes. Don't have anything scheduled for a couple of weeks. I'm taking a couple of weeks off. Because of the holidays, I have a lot of gifts I need to make and stuff. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like the projects. You can catch the replay tomorrow. I will have it go to YouTube. But like I said, I'm not going to give you the measurements for the cupcake, sock cupcakes, because it's going to vary depending on how thick your socks are. Okay, everybody, you have a great Thanksgiving Day tomorrow. You take care and stay safe. And I'll see you in a few weeks. Bye-bye now.